The origin of self-reliance. People who cannot accept help often learned, too early, that needing someone meant being disappointed. As children, they might have reached out, with small hands and open hearts, only to find silence, neglect, or a love that came with conditions. So, they adapted. They built themselves into fortresses, walls made of competence, gates locked by control. They became the reliable ones, the strong ones, the ones who never break, because somewhere in their mind, asking for help became the same as saying, "I am weak. I am unsafe." But that isn't the truth. It's the echo of an old wound that still hums beneath the surface of their lives. There is a quiet fear that lives inside them, a fear of being truly seen. To accept help is to let someone enter your chaos, to show them the places that aren't polished, the rooms of your mind where dust still gathers. And for some, that kind of exposure feels unbearable. Because when you've spent years building an image of someone who has it all together, the idea of someone seeing your cracks feels like shame. So, they hide. Behind laughter, behind busyness, behind phrases like, "I've got it handled." But sometimes, the strongest walls are built by those who are most afraid to be touched. They think independence is safety, but what they've really built is isolation disguised as strength. The weight of control. For many who can't accept help, control isn't a luxury, it's a survival mechanism. When life once felt unpredictable, controlling every detail became their anchor. They plan everything. They do everything. They hold every thread in their hands, because to let go, even a little, feels like the beginning of collapse. And when someone says, "Let me help," their body tightens, their mind whispers, "No, that's risky. What if they do it wrong? What if I owe them? What if I lose control?" So, they refuse. Not because they don't need help, but because accepting it means surrendering their safety. And surrender feels like falling, even when someone's arms are waiting to catch you. The guilt of receiving. Some people feel guilty for being helped. They grew up believing that love must be earned, that care is transactional, that being low maintenance makes them more lovable. So when kindness comes their way, they shrink. They overthink. They feel the need to give something back immediately, to balance the invisible scale in their mind. If someone helps them, they'll say, "I'll return the favor," as if love were a debt. But real connection isn't a transaction. It's an exchange of humanity. Still, for those who have always been the helper, receiving feels wrong. It feels unnatural, like they're taking up too much space in a room they were only taught to clean. The invisible loneliness. It's strange how people who never ask for help are often surrounded by others, yet feel profoundly alone, because no one knows how heavy their silence has become. They show up for everyone else. They listen. They care. They give advice that sounds like poetry, but rarely speak their own truth out loud. They are the ones people lean on. But when their own knees begin to shake, they disappear quietly into the background. And the world never notices, because they've trained everyone to believe they don't need saving. But deep down, they crave the same gentleness they give so easily. They just don't know how to receive it without feeling like they're failing. The psychology beneath the surface. If you look closely, you'll see that the inability to accept help isn't about arrogance. It's about trust. Trust in others. Trust in safety. Trust that if you fall apart, someone will stay long enough to help you rebuild. For some, that trust was broken early, by abandonment, by betrayal, by the quiet absence of care. So, the mind rewrote its rules. Don't depend on anyone. Handle it yourself. Stay small, stay capable, stay in control. It worked. For a while. It got them through. But now, Those old rules are slowly suffocating them, because no one was made to carry life alone. The subtle shame of needing. There is a particular kind of shame that blooms in people who can't ask for help. It's not loud. It's not obvious. It's the kind that whispers at night. You're supposed to be stronger than this. It's the voice that turns vulnerability into failure. So even when someone offers love, they flinch. They look for the hidden meaning, the potential rejection hiding behind kindness. Their mind says, "Don't trust it. Don't need it. Stay safe." And their heart, quietly aching, nods in agreement. They mistake self-sufficiency for peace, but it's really just loneliness in a beautiful disguise. The exhaustion of holding it all. There comes a point when even the strongest hands tremble, when the weight of holding it all becomes too much. They lie awake at night, eyes open, heart heavy, wondering why they're so tired when they've done everything right. But that's the truth of it. They've done everything for everyone except themselves. They never stopped long enough to let someone else carry the load. And now, their strength feels like a cage. It's a strange paradox, how the thing that once protected them is now the thing that keeps them from being free. The gentle truth about help. Help is not a sign of weakness. It's a form of connection. When someone reaches out to help you, they're not trying to take your strength away. They're trying to share theirs. Because love, at its core, isn't about rescuing. It's about witnessing. Letting someone hold the mirror so you can see yourself through eyes that are kinder than your own. But to accept that, you must believe that you're worthy of being held. Even when you're not the strong one. Even when you're messy, tired, and uncertain. That is the hardest part. Not the receiving, but the believing. The relearning of trust. Learning to accept help is not a single act. It's a slow softening. It begins in small ways. Letting someone listen without fixing. Letting a friend carry something for you, even if you could do it yourself. Letting silence be safe between you and another. These are the quiet revolutions of the heart. And over time, the walls you built out of fear start to look less like fortresses and more like ruins ready to be reclaimed. Because healing isn't about becoming dependent. It's about remembering that you were never meant to survive this world alone. Maybe this is the truth. People who cannot accept help are not cold or distant or prideful. They are just people who learned that safety was something they had to build themselves. They are the architects of their own survival. Beautiful, exhausted, and endlessly giving. But even the sun rests. Even the ocean allows itself to be pulled by the moon. Maybe strength isn't about holding on so tightly. Maybe it's about learning to let others in. Even when your voice shakes as you say, "I think I need you," because the moment you allow someone to help you, you are not losing power. You are reclaiming humanity. And that is where real strength lives. Not in doing it all alone, but in finally whispering, with quiet grace, "It's okay. You can stay. I'll let you help me this time."